Hello, Jedi and Sith out there. So I just wanted to post a quick video to give you guys a close-up of my new Saber, staff, modular, Pike, whatever setup. I consider this a modular setup. And I posted pictures of it here and there on Instagram, Reddit, Facebook, and various places. But I haven't really given a close look here on YouTube. Last night I posted a video of me swinging this thing around, really hefty, a lot of fun, and now we're gonna have a close-up. So this is, this one here on the right, this is my main hand, single blade saber that I had before, and I showed that on my channel and a variety of places as well. So that one I got many months ago. It is an Ultrasabers Dark Sentinel V5, and here for a closer look. So last time I talked about weathering it, so it came in all black, of course, very glossy and fake looking, but I chose the Dark Sentinel because of that, because it's black finish, so it makes very good weathering canvas. As you can see some of the details here that I showed off before. I unfortunately did not document that process, my bad. Too eager to finish that off, and the same thing here, as you can see, I was too eager to finish it off, so I didn't manage to record it. But I mean, I can tell you that the process is really easy. Anyways, so without further ado, moving on to the new piece that I have here. I ordered it with this one in mind. I wanted to construct a staff saber, and coming from a martial arts background, doing wushu and other weapons forms like kenjutsu, kendo, so on, I wanted a proper staff or spear configuration to play around with and practice technique on. So here we have the Yari Pike extension. So this section here all the way up to this part here, this whole thing is one piece. It's the Yari Pike extension. So there's threads on both ends where you can connect a coupler. So this part here, and this coupler I actually got earlier, much earlier, and I had it on my main hand saber for a while as the pommel, but now I just switched it out because I don't know, I think I like the sleeker look here. So this coupler here, this section at the bottom, is what I ordered with this Yari Pike's extension. So this one is the new one here. In any case, they work the same way. There's threads on both sides. So here, that's the Pike extension, and then you connect a coupler, any coupler like that, to the end, and then you can attach another hilt with the hilt if you take off the pommel. So this hilt here is the Dark Initiate V4, and it is almost like a Shoto size, like one-handed size, and I got it with the emitter holes, whatever you call the emitter windows. Yes, that's what it's called. Okay, so that the light will come through, so that and this is also in Sentinel yellow color, same as this, so both sides of this staff saber will be yellow, of course. Now this one is a stunt saber, so there's no sound. I didn't feel like you need sound on both ends of the saber. It might get really annoying. Okay, so this here is the saber, right? And just a little close up of what I did to it. Of course, first of all I sanded it down roughly so on a black saber with black finish, when you run the sandpaper through, it easily scrapes off just the edges. So you see these corners here, Sandpaper will automatically take that off first, so you'll see a nice silver outline. That's the first thing. And as you keep sanding it, and you can focus on different parts of it so that you can bring out, uneven inconsistencies like that, parts of it where it goes thinner and then thicker. There's that silver lining. And if you focus on some parts, you can lighten up that black to give it more of a gunmetal finish. So in general, you can make it very organic just by using manual, sanding it down hard. And you can, go at it really hard because this black finish actually doesn't come off that easily. So anyways, I did that for the whole thing here. First time I did it for the whole setup. Okay, and then what I did was I took a Dremel and I started scoring it with little, so you see the pattern there, like sort of like pockmarked or like, grungy. That's done with the Dremel. I just kind of danced it over the surface with a sandpaper head, and it just kind of bounced all over the surface and created all these marks. And I would hold it to certain areas for longer so that we can expose more of that silver. And then with the Dremel, changing the head to like, I don't know what those heads are called really. I started scoring it with gouges, in a sense, like dents here. You can see. And there's a shadow. You see the gouges down the edges there in a line. I mean, I didn't do it too deep, so it's not too easy to see. I was looking for my other gouges here. Like here, just give it like a dent of sorts. Trying to get that shadow. I don't know, you can probably see it. Okay. In general, things like that, and just scraping away, making lines, and so on. And obviously, this is the kind of look I like the weathered, worn down, battle scarred look. Okay, and of course I did the leather wraps. The wrap here, the wrap here, and here. And this is something I got from Amazon, a little cheap, and it's just a leather handle wrap for like rackets, for like badminton racket or tennis racket or something like that. And it comes with adhesive backing underneath, and you can just stick it on. But on the edges, just in case, like the ends of it, just in case it might come loose when I'm playing around with it, I hot glue gunned the end so that it remains strong, and I tied a leather cord around the top. Okay, so just earlier I added a bit of acrylic paint. So I used brown. I actually used some yellow. I don't know if you can see that. There's some yellow here and there. You can see there's a mix of yellow in there. Tiny bits of yellow. So what it is just dry acrylic paint, no water, and I used a dry brush, and I just dabbed some paint and scattered it around. But most important is you want to smear it after you apply the paint, or else there's going to be like a solid blob on the surface. So I just smeared it with my finger, because actually that was the most effective way. I tried to use a sponge or paper towel, but like the finger seemed to be most effective. And that way you can smear some of it, leave some of it behind, and you'll apply like a very, very thin layer, or leave bigger blotches. I did have a tiny bit of green here and there as well, which is going to be hard to see because it is very subtle. Anyways, so the whole point is, of course, to make it look like there's some grime and some dirt on it, like it's been rolling around in the jungle or in a desert and so on, and had been, in battles. So that is kind of the overview of what it looks like on the outside. Okay, in general, this is super cool, and many people say it reminds them of Rey's staff, which it does, it does. But I kind of had it planned before Rey even existed, but now with that association, that's cool with me too, because I love her staff. So I'm even thinking of putting a carrying strap like here and here, so that you can carry it around. So this here is modular, because this is the Pike part of it that I would imagine that I could carry on my back or something, that a Jedi might carry around for like serious battles where you need like dual blades. So you can wield this on the left hand or the right hand, one-handed. And as well, it gives you more reach if you hold it near the end. Right, and then of course you have your main hand normal lightsaber here. On the other hand is I'm going to show you what happens when we screw it together and we get the full saber staff. And of course you've seen this already in my other YouTube video that I put up last night, with me swinging it around. So in this end it goes in right here and it threads together. I don't think I can do it with one hand, so I'm gonna pause this video. Alright, so here's the last bit of it screwing in. So there is a quick release coupler that you can get as well, which probably is a quick button where you can just release it. I haven't actually used it myself, but I preferred to use this full threading coupler, because I just feel like it might be more fail safe and more sturdy in case any mechanism breaks with the quick release. But I'm of course not sure how that actually works, so I might try it someday. Okay, so now we have the full double-sided staff saber. So let's take a look at the whole thing here. Boom. Don't mind my feet. So I think this is super cool. Now the full length of this huge hilt is 40 inches. The whole thing is 40 inches. So the blades I got with this purchase, like the purchase of the extra parts that I ordered, is this 16-inch blade and a 24-inch blade. So the 24-inch blade I put at the top, on the top end of my staff saber, which is led by my main hand saber, the original, the OG, and the 16-inch at the back here, the tail end. And of course, if I decide to take this off, then we get a spear setup where it's just one-sided, and if I have this, then it's a double-sided staff saber. Now the 40-inch hilt gives me a lot of room to play with, to work with, for full staff and spear techniques, and changing my hand positioning all the way up and down the whole hilt. So it has been super fun with this, super fun, but it's super heavy as well. It's solid metal after all. Okay, so just in general, I ordered all of these pieces from Ultrasabers website, and the whole community already knows this by now, but for those of you new to this hobby, Ultrasabers is not a good option. It is the most popular. They have tons of ads everywhere, so it's probably the main site that people know about, but their quality is not as good compared to other companies out there, in terms of, at least in terms of the internal components, the electronics and so on. It doesn't have a chassis inside, so it's like, you know, the battery pack is somewhat secure, but it just kind of shifts around, and all the pieces, you know, are kind of haphazardly, you know, put together. In general, the electronics are behind, their technology is behind, the internal components are not as secure. Even the new hilt here coming in, the LED is kind of loose. You can hear it. It's kind of loose. But in general, I bought from Ultrasabers because, well, first of all, ordering this main hilt I mentioned, it was the quickest turnaround time that I could get my hands on a saber, compared to other companies. But during this pandemic, shipping has been horrible, so I ordered it beginning of March. I got it maybe like a week ago. Like the Pike extension, the extra coupler, this hilt and the blades. So it did take a very, very long time. Most companies are struggling. I want to get my hands on Saber Trio, but you know, they've been in a backlog, and they have not been open for business yet. They were open for like a day and sold out immediately. So anyways, that may be for the future, but I chose to go with Ultrasabers also because it is just cheap. And this whole thing together, including the two blades and a 32-inch blade from the original, and another 32-inch blade actually that I got, so that I can have dual wield sabers if I decide to take this hilt off, you know, on its own. Then I can have a full, you know, one-hand blade and one for the main hand, so I can dual wield properly. So all that together is about probably 450-ish, if I'm not mistaken. It's a rough estimate because I didn't do the exact calculations, but it was about that. It wasn't too much. Together it wasn't too much. 450-ish. 450-ish, usually you can get one good saber with it, but for the purposes of my, you know, practical needs of practicing staff and spear techniques and just having modular pieces with this setup, to me it was worth it, you know, just to have all of these options to me for variations. But yeah, we of course don't actually recommend Ultrasabers for quality, and also their customer service is not bad, but they take forever. As well as apparently there is some insider information about the work culture and the arrangements, which is not good. Nevertheless, I ordered this because of my reasons as mentioned. And overall, after customization, of course, weathering and all that, I am a big fan of this saber, and I'm gonna love this for a long time to come. Maybe one day I get a better saber for internal components. Now I'm planning, and I already bought the Verso soundboard, and I am planning to gut this one and reinstall. I'm still waiting for battery components and so on. Anyway, long video, but hope you enjoyed taking a look and hearing my rants. So do check out my other video that I uploaded last night with all the spinning and so on, as well as follow my new Instagram account where we have features and cosplay and many cool edits. On Instagram, Settle Asian Jedi, where we will celebrate Asian culture and representation, as well as just having a lot of cool posts. So check it out, and see ya later. May the Force be with you.